Hello, this is chapter 6, video number 2. In this video, what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and go through an example of how we can use a discrete random variable, how we can answer some questions about that. So here's the setup that we have for this problem. An online economics course posts the grade distribution. The grade distribution can be represented on the 4-point scale as a discrete random variable x. So we went ahead and just named this x. It does not matter what we called it, we just chose X. So what we did is we went ahead and have, instead of saying F, D, C, B, A, since this is a discrete random variable, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn those into numbers. So an A is a 4.0, a B is a 3.0, a C is a 2.0, D is 1, and then finally an F is 0. And we have the various probabilities that go along with this. So first question, is this a discrete or a continuous random variable? Well, let's take a look. If this were a continuous random variable, that would mean that every single value between 0 and 4 would be a possibility. However, if you get an A, you get a 4.0. If you get a B, you get a 3.0. In this example, and at most colleges, there's really nothing in between a 4.0 and a 3.0. That's it. I know that U of I does do minuses and plus, a B plus is 3.33, but in this example, this is simply a discrete, this one is a discrete random variable because there are only set values that can occur. So for this one, this is a discrete random variable because there are only certain set values that can occur with this. All right, next question. Calculate calculate the probability that x is greater than or equal to 3 and interpret the meaning. Well, if I want to figure out what's the probability of getting a 3 or higher, remember that equal sign means that we do include 3, all I would have to do is add up the probabilities. What's the probability of getting a 3? What's the probability of getting a 4? So in calculating this, we have 0.362. That is our probability of getting a B, plus 0.457. And when we calculate this, we end up with, let's take a look, 0.362 plus 0.45, 0.362 plus 0.457, that comes out to be 0.819. All right, now interpret this meaning. We're going to go ahead and just, we're not going to interpret this as, oh, what's the probability that x is greater than or equal to 3? Let's go ahead and put that back in the context of this problem. And the probability of getting a B or better is 0.819. So we turned this number and actually interpreted it in the meaning of the problem. All right, so next problem, we have calculate that P is less than 2. Calculate the probability that X is less than 2. Well, we do not have that equal sign there, so I only want the values that are less than 2. So in this example, we are adding up, well, what's the probability of a 0 and a 1? So for this, we have 0.011 plus 0.032. And when I add those two together, we end up with 0.043. And interpret this in the context of the problem. The probability of getting lower than a C is 0.043. Not too bad. In the whole grand scheme of things, this is a pretty good grade distribution. Lots of A's and B's, few C's, but then very, very rarely are there D's and F's. So the probability of getting lower than a C is 0.043 or 4.3%. All right, last thing that we're going to learn is how do I calculate the expected value of X? Well, the expected value is, hey, if I have a randomly selected student, what is their expected value? What is their expected grade? And we're essentially just taking a weighted average of these. So what we are going to do is we're going to need to gather all of this information from each of the values. So let me zoom out just a little bit so I can see the values. So first possible value. Well, and I guess I really don't even need to type this one, but the first possible value you could have is 0, and the probability of getting that is 0.011. Plus, the next value is 1. The probability of getting a 1 is 0.032 plus 2. Probability of getting a C is 0.138 and plus 3 times 0.362. And finally, 4 times 0.457. So all we did here is we went ahead and multiplied each of these together, each value by its expected probability, and finally add all of those results, and we've essentially calculated a weighted mean. All right, so I'm going to let you go ahead and try to type this in for your question, and then we will go over this answer. All right, so here's what I got for this. I ended up with 3.222, which means that the expected value, if I select a random student, I would expect most likely somewhere in the 3.2 range. So I'm going to guess that it's most likely going to be in between an A and a B. So that is its expected value. What am I expecting per each student? It's around 3.22. Now, does that guarantee that every single student has that? No, we're just saying that that is what is most likely. What is the average score in these?